Today, I had 3 setups on a watch list: Amazon, Microsoft, and QQQ. All 3 look good early. However, I took 0 trades. This isn't a how I missed a big move video. Right? It's a breakdown of why each setup failed and why passing on them was the correct decision, given my rules. Amazon was first on the list, right? Clean structure into the open, a strong initial breakout above the previous day high. The breakout alone is an entry. I needed a retest. Price is coming back down to the level and holding it as support before I get in. Amazon never gave us that. It broke and kept grinding up without a pullback. So there was no retest, means no defined risk. So I'm not placing a trade here. I passed on it. The second look was Microsoft. Once Amazon failed, I pivoted to Microsoft. Same pattern as Amazon, strong breakout, no retest. Now this is the spot where FOMO usually gets a trader. 2 names running without you, and the pull to chase a third definitely is real. But the setup didn't change just because the feeling did. So no retest, no entry, no exception. I passed on that one as well. QQQ was the closest one to a real trade, like breakout and retest around the midday, and the setup I've been waiting for on the other 2 names. Right here, we get the pullback, we break above the previous day high, and it looks like we're getting ready to get our entry candle. And within seconds, a large bearish candle just broke straight through that structure. That candle in itself just changed everything. And not everything in the sense of, can I still get into this trade? But in the sense of the math completely changed. So to keep the stop below the new swing low, the risk gets too wide for the reward left on the table. When a single candle invalidates the level and blows out your stop distance, the trade is off. And that's the first thing that went through my mind. Should I sit here and try to force a trade or just close the laptop? The best decision I ever made? The math just wouldn't make any sense. It doesn't matter how good the setup looked 10 minutes earlier, I'm passing on this trade. 3 setups, 0 entries, full account intact. Cash was my position today. You're not paid for taking trades. You're paid for taking the ones that meet your rules. 3 names look good today, and none of them did. If you took a different read on any of these, I want to hear about it. Drop your comments below. Today's trade on IQQ didn't hit the target. This isn't a loss recap. It's a breakdown of why I cut it early and why the price action was telling me that maybe holding for the original target is the wrong call. This morning, I was gauging QQQ as it's the only one to actually meet my criteria. As soon as we got the entry signal, I took the trade. Plan is going in was to hold for full 2R move into the upper zone. That was the plan on paper, but the plan only holds if the market keeps confirming as price approaches the target. And with this trade, it didn't. And I'll tell you why. Look at the wicks printing at this level. Every push got rejected immediately. Buyers tried, sellers took it back. That's a clear sign momentum was fading before it reached the target. This was also an options position, right? So I've been holding it for a while. When price consolidates sideways under resistance, that theta decay works against the position the whole time it sits still. So I was losing premium. Flat price still meant I was bleeding time up the value of the contract. 2 signals stacking, rejection at the resistance, and time decay eating the position meant my original 2R plan no longer matched what the market was actually giving me. When I enter a trade, the goal is it either hits my stop loss or it hits my price target of 2R. Now, if there's any interference from that, that's a bad trade. However, there is an exception. So with this one, did this hit the clean target I planned for at entry? No, but my job isn't to force the market to reach a number. The wicks showed major rejection at the top. The clock was working against me with my premium. I took the smaller win that was there and just closed out the trade, right? Not the best 2R or not the best outcome I was looking for, but it was the right move. If I was holding for a fixed target, regardless of what price is showing me, is how a good trade turns into a bad one. Let me know if you held this one longer. Today's session had 2 setups on my radar. It was SPY and AMD. Now, one never confirmed, and one went almost exactly by the book. Break, retest, and hit my 2R. I want to walk you through both because the reason the AMD trade worked wasn't luck. It's the same reason SPY setup got left alone. I let the price action tell me what to do instead of forcing something. About 30 minutes into the open, SPY pushed up towards the previous day high. It poked about the level, but there was no real expansion behind it. No momentum, no follow through. So that's usually a sign the level is about to hold, not break. I waited to see if a retest was set up for a clean entry, but it didn't. Price rotated right back down into that compression zone between the previous day high and the previous day low. For me, that's a no trade zone. When a ticker falls back into a range like that, you don't guess a direction. You leave it alone and you just look somewhere else. And that's what I did. AMD was the opposite story. We had a clean break above the previous day high, and instead of dumping back down like the SPY did, it held above that trend line and consolidated there. Structure stayed intact, support was established, and with my entry signal printed, I took it. From there is just management. I put my stop where structure said it needs to go. Target was set for 2R, and I didn't touch it after that. Price ran into the target zone, I got out, and that's it. The point here, to conclude, we had two tickers, same morning, two different outcomes, and the difference wasn't prediction, right? It was just following the plan. I respected the no trade zones. I waited for my confirmation. I managed risk the same way every time, regardless of what the setup is. That's the whole job. Not knowing what's going to happen, just reacting the same way, whether it does or it doesn't. That's the whole consistency structure. Now, a quick pro tip for anyone struggling to find consistency or build a real edge. Forget everything else right now. Forget the large size. Forget making a big money today. Your entire job is to collect data across 100 trades using the same exact setup. Trade small, extremely small, but do not paper trade, right? To me, paper trade is fake. You don't feel a thing when there's no skin in the game. You need real money on the line so you can actually learn how to manage real emotion. But small enough that the loss won't break your headspace. You're just testing to see if your edge actually holds up. And there's the golden rule, zero interference. You do not touch the trade once you're in it. Either hit your stop loss or hit your price target. Try and condition yourself to sit through drawdown and feel that discomfort without panicking or micromanaging trades. Right? It takes time, so don't rush this process. Track the feedback, journal the numbers. After 100 trades, dial in your real mismanagement based on facts, not feelings. Give it a shot. Document 100 trades and see the difference it makes in your discipline. Call my bluff.